Hey everyone, I just wanted to share a little bit of a speech that I listen to almost every day to remind myself not to get stuck in a rut. And this is Jim Carrey giving a speech to class of 2014 MUM graduation.
My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. And our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. It's not the only thing he taught me, though. I watched the effect of my father's love and humor and how it altered the world around me. And I thought, that's something to do. That's something worth my time. It wasn't long before I started acting up. People would come over to the house and they'd be greeted by a 7-year-old throwing himself down a large flight of stairs. They would say, "What happened?" And I would say, "I don't know. Let's check the replay." I'd go back to the top of the stairs and come back down in slow motion. It was a very strange household. My father used to brag that I wasn't a ham, I was the whole pig. And he treated my talent as if it was his second chance. When I was about 28, after a decade as a professional comedian, I realized one night in LA that the purpose of my life had always been to free people from concern, just like my dad. And when I realized this, I dubbed my new devotion the Church of Freedom from Concern. The Church of FFC. And I dedicated myself to that ministry. What's yours? How will you serve the world? What do they need that your talent can provide? That's all you have to figure out. As someone who's done what you're about to go and do, I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Because everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart, and all that will be left of you is what was in your heart. My choosing to free people from concern got me to the top of a mountain. Look where I am. Look what I get to do. Everywhere I go. I'm going to get emotional because when I tap into this, it really is extraordinary to me. I did something that made people present their best selves to me wherever I go. I am at the top of the mountain, and I was, and the only one I hadn't freed was myself, and that's when my search for identity deepened. I wondered who I'd be without my fame. Who would I be if I said things that people didn't want to hear? Or if I defied their expectations of me? What if I showed up to the party without my Mardi Gras mask and refused to flash my breasts for a handful of beads? I'll give you a moment to wipe that image out of your mind. But you guys are so ahead of the game. You already know who you are. And that peace that we're after lies somewhere beyond personality, beyond the perception of others, beyond invention and disguise, even beyond effort itself. You can join the game, fight the wars, play with form all you want, but to find real peace, you have to let the armor go.
People always talk about how They think he's crazy and all that stuff. But I'm going to tell you, this man, it's amazing what truth he does speak. When he speaks like this, he hits on a level that just makes you think to yourself, wow, what have I been doing with my life? I could be I could be living a whole nother life, but I could be helping so many people and myself. There's so much more out here than just this material stuff that we obsess over. You know, and like he said, where would he be without the fame? Would people want to hear what he says? And that's why the first time I heard the speech, it blew me away because I'd never thought about that before. I never thought about where would I be without this or this. But how many lives have I affected? Nowhere nearly enough as I could be. And that's one thing that pushed me to start my YouTube channel was hearing this. And I heard it a while back, but I didn't grasp it completely. But once I started, understanding it better, I'm like, you know what? I could reach so many more people, save so many more lives, and just step out of my shell. I don't want to be covered in makeup and worrying about how I look to everyone. I don't want to be stressing out about my looks and all that stuff because I'm on the internet. So I put that in the back of my mind and I'm like, yeah, it does stress me out. People judge me based on my big forehead, my big nose, blah, blah, blah. But I have to push that aside and realize that there are things that I can be doing to help people. And it may be through the internet. It may be through talking with them personally. It could be through text message. It could be through my YouTube videos, my social media. But still, I know that there is a bigger spiritual platform, maybe. I don't know. There's a bigger platform for me to be helping people than just sitting around my house wanting to do it. I have to put my best foot forward and start to do it. Even if I don't get hundreds of subscribers, even if I only have 2 subscribers, that's 2 people that I didn't reach before, if that makes any sense. But I wanted to share some of this with you because his speech is just so amazing. Like it hits home for me. And it just made me see that I could be doing more, for society and myself. There's so much more to life than just going to work and paying bills every day. And like he's explaining, if you want to do something and you're going to fail or not fail either way, you might as well be doing something you love. And I love making videos. I love blogging. I love talking to people. I love meeting people, getting to hear their stories, sharing my story. And that's where the internet comes in and the YouTube channel comes in. And I love the speech that he gave. Very inspirational. And this is, one of the top main things that pushed me to start my channel up and say, you know what? I'm just going to do this. People either going to love or hate, but either way, I'm going to affect someone in a positive way. Maybe save some lives, But go to that channel and give it a listen, it's pretty good.
Your need for acceptance can make you invisible in this world. Don't let anything stand in the way of the light that shines through this form. Risk being seen in all of your glory.
Jim Carrey, a lot of people don't know, or he's an artist, and his artwork is amazing. It is like nothing I've ever seen. It is so loud, and it speaks to you, and it's brutal, and it's abrupt, but it just, even when it's very, strange, it just pulls you in further. Now, I'm not bringing politics into this because I know he's not a Trump supporter, but this is not about politics. This is about his art and how he, does these motivational speeches and tries to get the younger crowd and older crowd to see that there's so much more to life that they can, prosper from and help others, and affect others for the better. It's amazing. Look at that art. We're going to do a video on some of Jim Carrey's artwork here shortly. So, if you want to see more of this speech, go to this channel and check it out. or type in Jim Carrey's commencement address at 2014 MUM graduation. I typed in Jim Carrey's motivational speech and it popped right up. Thanks for watching.